Hello guys, this is my dashboard that will help me monitoring the training. Look, we have many options here. I can navigate through these buttons or here. Okay, let's start with the button, then we change for the side. This monitoring helped me to understand how the body it's working. If it's tired, if the training is too much, if the load is high, if the low is low, the load, sorry, it's low. So this dashboard gonna give me the scenario of how the body is working. It's like the whoop band, but better with more metrics. So well-being, here are the days, and here show if I'm recovered, if not. For example, if here in the red, the recovery is not good, it's critical. Here the light red, poor recovery. Here is good, moderate, sorry, in the yellow. Here is good, you maintain the training. Here you can increase the training. Here you should rest or decrease the intensity or load. This side show the difference between among the days. So let's go to number 2. Show the redness, use the RSE mode modification, the well-being, counter movement jump. Some of this, I'm not, the date here, I have to correct the date. Some of these I'm not gonna use because the equipment I used to have a problem. It's not with me, but the HRV, it's really good. Look, show its recovery is on the green light. Perceive the recovery. Attention, this is between the sessions. The load. So even the hydration, it's gonna show if I am hydrated or not. The HRV, look, I'm good here, I'm not tired. Well-being, again, the total quality recovery. These are the PSR. This shows my recovery between among the days. This shows among the sessions. If I have 2 sessions, it will be here, 3 sessions here. Here it's more about my performance. Show if I improve the performance. The counter movement jump. If it's below the red line, I need rest. I decrease my performance. If it's between the red and green, I'm okay. If it's above, I'm improving my performance, so I can emphasize the training. The same with squat jump, the same with SE, eccentric utilization radio, hydration. This show my hydration. If on the blue, I have a good hydration. On the yellow, poor hydration. On the red, probably I need to hydrate more and add electrolytes to my hydration. 3P, it's about the zones on the heart rate. It's a formula that sum all the zones and give me a ratio. Everything sure to be easier to interpret and take the decision. How I use this? I have to answer a form. This is the post-train. Let me show first the pre-train, the form pre-train. I have to answer all questions and gonna update automatically that dashboard. So it's a Google Forms. I'm gonna send this to the Google Sheets, and the Google Sheets gonna update the dashboard. It's very easy. You don't have to answer all, but the most I can answer better will be the result. So this is the post-train. After the train, I have to answer some questions. So that's it, guys. This way I'm gonna monitoring my train, the train load, my recovery, see if my performance is improving. That's it. So guys, this is my training program. I made this spreadsheet. So this was my 1 RM So on the belt squat, 160 kilos. Dumbbell clean, it's 95 pounds, 110 kilos, pounds, kilos, and kilos. I use this way to be easier to calculate. So here I split in phase and week. So preparatory, pre-competitive 1, pre-competitive 2, and competitive. This is the final phase. If I change here, we'll change the weights automatically. Here are the sets, here are the repetitions, the reps, and the load. 80 kilos is easier to put, but 96, usually I put 95 or 9, and I have to update here. After update, here gonna change everything. For example, if I put here, let's change here, it's easier. 7 repetitions. Look, automatically change it here. And those are the exercises I'm gonna use. The first phase, I'm gonna work to improve my strength. Then change the exercises. I'm gonna work between strength and power. And the last one, I'm gonna, let me see if, yeah. I'm gonna work on power and speed. So these are the percentages of each exercise. We're gonna add more in the week. Each week we add a little bit more. And here we finish. In the end, we're gonna do the tapering, will be much easier. Look, here's the day tonnage, and here's the week. So if you see here, probably is less, yeah, look, much less, because it's the tapering. This will be my weight training workout. My judo training workout, I put the same, but here the intensity will be more subjective. Okay, it's the exertion I'm gonna do in each exercise. Here again, sets, reps, the rest, and load. Load, it's the 40 plus 5. Exactly, it's 40 plus 5 plus 50%. So here will be the day load and the week load. What this means? This is uchi-komi technical. It's the simple uchi-komi in the place. I wanna improve the details, the kuzush, the uchi-komi tactical. It's with the specific grip or specific movimentation. Speed uchi-komi, it's that one in place or walking as faster you can. This is usually for low repetitions or time. Strength uchi-komi, it's with the uke using weight vest or a band or somebody holding. And complex uchi-komi is when I do a heavy exercise, then I do a throw or a uchi-komi really fast. This can be complex or contrast. I put just one name because I want to use more space. Contrast is when you do a strength uchi-komi, then a fast uchi-komi. Contrast. Strength, then a fast. Complex, it's when you use a exercise like a deadlift and then you do a technique. At the beginning, I'm gonna emphasize this and this. With the timing, I'm gonna put emphasis this and this. Okay, as you can see, I'm gonna change. This is the programming for the 3 months I'm gonna compete. And here's the load dynamic to see how the dynamic of the load is the way the train load. Here will be the highest load, then I started tapering. Judo will be the same. This is easier to see if your training there is no monotony, if it's well planned, and here the weekly is the same, but here's the daily and here's the weekly. So you can see, and that's it. I'm gonna explain during the weeks which one I'm gonna use. I think the hardest thing will be find the training partner. But if somebody's watching, wanna be my training partner, contact me and we're gonna train. So these are my results, my metrics. The three first are the maximum weight I lift. It's in kilos. This is the weight I lift. This is my goal, under 6 kilos. My goal is 200 kilos. On squat, I lifted 170 kilos. My goal is 220. On the bench press, I was 106 kilos. My goal is 140. It's a little bit unrealistic if you was like a normal athlete, but as I'm a normal athlete, but as I already lift more than this weight, make it realistic. I was a long time without using this exercise. This was my 1 RM low, but I have muscle memory. And for example, on deadlift, I already lifted 240 kilos. On squat, I never lifted this weight because I took my 1 RM on belt squat. So I think it's possible. And the bench press, my PR is 184 kilos. So it's not even close to my PR. I think I can reach this number. Like more than I think 2 or 3 years I don't do bench press with the barbell. I usually do on the dumbbell. And the dumbbell, my 1 RM, it's much higher than this. So these are the weights. And here we start. The body fat was 18.9. My goal is 12. Let's see if I can reach the goal. This is the Hikdash test. The Hikdash test, it's 40 seconds doing the Hikdash. It's just the pull and turn your back without using your legs to throw or lift. The maximum repetition 40 seconds. This test measure your resistance and your anaerobic power. My result was 58 and I got very tired in the end. My goal is 75. I think 7th I can reach. If I reach 75 would be great. And here it's the counter movement jump RSI mode, modified. What is this? I think one of these is the RSI, regular RSI. This measure how efficient you are using your fast strength or your power, how efficient you are rebounding. So higher, it's better. Your higher number, you are getting better on RSI. For example, below than 0.34, it's considered low. 0.35 to 0.48, it's average, and above 0.49 for men's, I'm saying, it's considered high performance. Now I have other page here. Grip strength. My grip strength is good, but I'd like reach a higher value. Special judo fitness test. These are really good tests. It's very specific to judo. I reach 15.75. My goal is 12. That my was considered weak for an elite senior athlete. For example, very weak, it's above 14. Weak is 13 to 14. Regular 11 to 13. This is for elite athlete. Good is 10 to 11, and excellent it's below 10. So for me, this result would be a good improvement. Uh, the special judo fitness test, it's a test you must have two ukes 6 meters far to each other, and you have to start in the center, and you throw for 15 seconds with Ponceo and Nage, the maximum number of throws, rest 10 seconds, then throw 30 seconds again, rest 10 seconds, throw 30 seconds again. It's 3 blocks, 10 seconds in between the blocks. You measure your heart rate just after when you finish and 1 minute after. And then you create an index. The index is final heart rate plus 1 minute after finish heart rate is split for divided for the throws. So you have to count the number of the throws, you have to measure, you have to count the number of the throws, measure your heart rate just after and 1 minute after. Then you get our index and you find these numbers. So I hope I get a good improve. Then I have my weight. My goal was I think it's because it's in kilos here and I put my weight in pounds. But I remember I weigh 240 pounds and my goal is 230. Yes, 240, 230. Push-up test. Push-up test, it's the maximum push-ups you do in 1 minute. You have to touch your chest to the ground and lock your elbow and count. You can stop, you can rest, but you have to keep your form. It's a really good test. You measure your resistance of your upper body and maybe your strength. I did 40. I think I did 38. I'm not sure. I have to count again. And my goal is 50. 50 the number I used to do when I was firefighter. This I don't know what's this, but I'm gonna check. And sit-ups test is the same as the push-up. 1 minute doing sit-ups, you have to cross, touch your opposite shoulder with your hand, and when you go up, you have to touch your elbow on your thighs. You have to keep attached your hand on your shoulder. You can't detach it. So, and count. I don't think it was 40 as well. I have to check. My goal is 65. Yeah, I passed a long time without doing sit-ups. So I'm weak and I want to improve. Maybe gonna help my lower back pain. And let's go to the spreadsheet. Here it's my goal. This was my result. This was when I took the most of the tests, not all, but the most of the tests. Like my weight. Let me use this one. My weight was 240. My goal is 230. I have to decrease 4%. My body fat, I have to decrease 36%. This is a lot. Let's see. I think at least 15 I can reach. My special judo fitness test, I have to improve 23.8. My hikidashi, I have to improve almost 30%. My grip strength, 15%. My deadlift, normal in a periodization, we don't improve that much. But I come from a very bad condition. So if I improve that much, is good. The most trained you are, the less improvement you get. So I'm not trained. I can get this improvement. I reached these results before. So it's very possible for me. Deadlift, I have to improve 25%, bench press 32%, squat 30%. Push up 25. Sit up. I have to improve 62. It's a lot. DSI. What is DSI means Dynamic Strength Index. Uh, I can decrease here because we have a good line. The DSI measure how efficient it's your strength. They use the peak force on counter movement jump divided by your peak force on isometric mid-tight pull. This measure how balanced your strength and your power is. For example, if you are the ideal, it's in between zero point 0.6 and zero point 0.8. If you are below zero point 0.6, this means you have a lot of strength, but you can't transfer to fast actions, explosive actions. So it's integrated to you work more in power, plyometric train, ballistic train, jumps, Olympic weightlifting. If you are above zero point 0.8, this means use well your speed, use well your power, but you don't have enough strength. So you have to work on your strength. On isometric train, squats, deadlift, with a lot of loads, big rest intervals, few repetitions. You have to improve your maximum strength. And if you are between zero point 0.6 and zero point 0.8, you are balanced with your power, your speed, and your strength. This is the good one. This is why you want to be zero point 0.7. This shows I'm in deficit. I'm very bad on my strength. I have to work my strength. So it's what I'm gonna work. Uh, this means eccentric utilization ratio. How we use well your strength and shortening cycle. So if your EUR it's 1, you don't use well. It's between 1.05 and 120, you are balanced. And more than 120, this shows you have a great utilization of your elastic force. So if you are below 1.05, you have to use plyometric trains with low impact to don't overload your joints. If you are above 1.2, you can use any kind of plyometrics. You are ready to use the energy in the best way. So now, guys, we have a lot of more metrics, like the counter movement jump height was 23, my goal is 35, and you have a lot of more metrics. So in the end, I'm gonna show how much I improve in all of these metrics. Okay, maybe I'm gonna put this spreadsheet to everybody can watch and see. Okay, see you.